final instalment of our Harry Potter topic. This week we're looking at Quidditch. So this is the video for the laptop. If you're not using a laptop, go and look at the iPad video instead, otherwise it won't work. Okay, step 1, open the spreadsheet. This spreadsheet will be attached to the assignment number 4, and it will be attached on Google Classroom, so open that on your laptop. Step 2, use formula to work out the games for each team. Okay, so the games for each team. Now let's have a look at our information. We've got some positions, we've got some team names here, and we've got won, lost, drawn and played. These are Quidditch games. We can see here that Slothering has won 10 games, lost 2 games and drawn 4 games. So won 10 games, lost 2 games and drawn 4 games. So we've got to work out the number of games that they've actually played. Well, that's pretty much adding them together, isn't it? So you could either use a sum total, like this, or you could just use a very simple addition. Up to you. Work out all of the number of the games played for each of the teams. Okay, I'm not going to show you how, but I'm giving you a lead. So fill out the played using formulas like I have here. Okay, now we need to work out the points for each team. So the point system works like this. Each time they win, they get 3 points. Each time they draw, they get 1 point, and they don't get a point if they lose. So every time you win a game, you get 3 points. Every time you draw a game, you get 1 point. And if you lose, you don't get any points added. So, in column H, we need to write a formula for the number of for the number of points that they've won for all these games. They may have played 16 games, but they'll have had different points according to their results. So let's have a think. We've got the data about how many they've won. We've got the data about how many they've lost, and they've got the drawn. So we're looking for some kind of formula in column H. Could maybe put something like this. If they're winning at 3 points for a win, we could say 3 times the number of wins. That would be great. So that's got us the wins. However, they also get points if they draw. Now, luckily for us, with bid maths, bod maths, or whichever way you're doing it in maths, multiplication is before addition. So we can just add the number of games drawn on, because they only get a point for each time they draw. So 1 game drawn equals 1 point. Well, 4 games drawn equals 4 points. But we've got to work it out as a formula. So here we've got equals 3 star D2 plus FT. Let's check that out. So they've got 34 points, Slothering, because winning times 3, so 10 times 3 is 30, plus the number of games that they've drawn is 4, is 34, because they don't get any points for a loss. Okay, sort that in yours. Now in the final column, in column I, we need to work out the average points per game. So this is the mean average. Now you might be thinking, oh, I'll just head up to the average because we used that before. Well, not quite. It's a little bit simpler than that. It's the mean average. So what we're going to think about is Slothering have got 34 points and they've played 16 games. So what is the average number of points that they've got each game? What would they normally have? Think about it as this. Imagine Slothering have 34 cupcakes to give out, and they've got 16 people to share them between. How many cupcakes on average, how many cupcakes is somebody going to get? How would you work that out? Would you divide 16 by 34, or would you divide 34 by 16? Write a division formula in here, okay? Dividing 2 things together. Now the symbol for divide, remember, is the /, but you always need to start your formula with an equals. Write a division formula in here. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but it's going to be using columns G and columns H, but which one is divided by which to work out the average number of points per game played. You go ahead and do it. Great. Now you might have lots of crazy numbers here at the end because of your averages, in which case you can leave it like that, or if you want to reduce the number, then just select all of the cells and reduce the number of decimal places up here. Okay. Now we need to insert some suitable charts for the data. Now I would suggest some suitable charts might be the team name and the number that they've won. So you would just select those two columns. Okay, don't be tempted to do all of the data because it won't know really what to display as a chart. Just pick something simple like team name and 1. Or if you want to do the points, select cells C1 to C9 by clicking in the middle of the cell and dragging down. And then you can hold down, I think it's the command key on a Mac or the control key possibly on Windows, and click and drag down on the points, and then you can select 2 different columns nice and easily. Now add yourself a chart. There's a button in the toolbar and there's also insert chart. Play around, see what different charts you can get, something that makes sense, and pop that in. Super, now you've got a suitable chart. We just need to do some extra questions here. So let's have a think. In our situation it says, do some modelling. What if team Gryffindor B, let's find Gryffindor B down here, won 25 games. Okay, so we're going to change our thing of here where it says 3 for Gryffindor B1. We're going to change that to 25. And drew 3 less. So let's go to where they've drawn and we're going to reduce that by 3. So 5 minus 3 is 2. Great. Now you can see that my columns here, the values have changed. What's in there? Because we're using formulas to calculate it. If they haven't changed, then you've not done the earlier steps right. Okay, so our spreadsheet has calculated the new results. Who are the new champions of the league? Well, with the most number of points, it's now most definitely Gryffindor B. However, our ranking at the moment puts them in 6th place here, so we need to sort that out. Can you sort the data so they appear at the top of the league? Well, yes, we can, because we're on the laptop. It's a lot easier. This is a thing that you can't really do very easily on the iPad. So what we're going to do is we're going to click in the middle of cell B1 where it says position, hold down your mouse or your trackpad, and you're going to drag all the way down to this cell here, which is I9, to select all of the data. You're then going to go up here to the top underneath the title where it says data, which is a menu. And you're going to pick the 5th option, which is sort range. Just sort range. Ignore the ones above. Let's go into here. Okay, so it says sort range from B1 to I9, which is the area we have selected. We're going to tick this box here that says data has a header row because our table has some headings. It's got position T1, lost, drawn, played there. Now we need to, rather than sort them by the position, because we know that our positions are wrong, we need to sort it by a different value. Not the name, not the game's won, but the team that's winning has the most what? Points. Yes, points down the bottom. Okay, now we've got 2 options. We can either sort A to Z or Z to A, but we're using numbers here. So imagine that says 1 to 100 or 100 to 1. So if we want the team with the most points at the top, which order should we do? Yes, Z to A, because that's like doing 100 down to 1. So we want 100 at the top. And we'll click sort. So with Gryffindor B at the top, that's great, but our numbers at the side are wrong at the moment. So what we need to do is select them all by clicking in the middle and dragging down and just delete them. And let's just type in our positions. We can either type them in 1, 2, 3, or you can use autofill if you know how to do it. Drag down and then that should then populate the rest of the list. You might need to put 1 and 2 in just to let it know what to do, otherwise you'll get 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So to do that, let me just do that once more. I typed in position 1, position 2, I then selected both and clicked in the corner on the blob to drag down and it will fill out the rest for me. Great. So now we have done all of our data, the last thing to do is to colour code it. So you can use the fill bucket if you want up here to just make it look beautiful, add some colour to colour coordinate each of the teams. And then that is all that you need to do for this one. You can hand it in.